And you guys will have to let me know if anyone is in the chat. Hopefully, they send a message to one of you guys. Let your friends know if you know that they wanted to join today, because I will have no idea when I'm sharing my screen. So we're just going to jump right into it. So we have measurement and coordinate geometry. So the first thing we're doing is, what is the midpoint of the longer side of the triangle with vertices 1, 4, 3, 4, and then 3, 6. So the first thing I need to do is what? Anyone?
Make a graph?
Yes, we can make the graph. What's the key to the keywords I'm trying to say? With making a graph, it's looking at what?
A triangle. I don't know. Never mind.
It's drawing the triangle, right? Or figuring out what is the longest side. So one of the ways you can do that is by doing a little graph, right? You guys know your reference, or not your reference sheets, your papers, the scrap papers that they give you are graph paper. So you have the grid, so you can easily, just kind of get it together. 1, 4. Then I have 3, 4. And then I have 3, oh, I did this wrong. I made it too close to the top. So let's try that again. One, 4, 3, 4, and then there's 3, 6. So it looks kind of like this. Now, what would be my longest side?
The hypotenuse?
The hypotenuse, right? Which is from what point to one point? This is my 1, 4, and this one would be my 3, 6. So now all I have to do is the midpoint formula, and lucky for you all, the midpoint formula is on your reference sheet. So you don't even have to remember it. But in case you want to, because it is easy enough, all you have to do is add the x values. So 1 plus 3 and divide it by 2, and then add up the y's, 4 plus 6, and divide that by 2. So what's 1 plus 3?
7.
What?
4 plus 3, 7?
My guy, are you good? Are you okay?
It's like on my end. It's like on my end. You said 4 plus 3. Repeat your question.
1 plus 3.
Oh.
So 1 plus 3 is 4. Divided by 2?
2.
2. And now 4 plus 6?
10.
What? Did we say 10?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if we said 10 or if we just were like, 10 divided by 2?
5.
5. So my midpoint is?
Oh.
2,
okay. 2, 5.
That makes sense?
Yep.
All right, the next one. Joe's Painting has been hired by East Miami City to paint a spherical water tower with a diameter of 62 feet. To determine how much paint needs to be ordered, Joe needs to calculate the surface area of the water tower. What is the exact surface area of the water tower? So once again, we would want to look at our reference sheet. Now, this is a sphere. So I mosey on down to the second page of my reference sheet where all my formulas are. And the last thing they have there is sphere. And the surface area is 4 pi r squared. Now, notice how all of my answers have pi. Yes? You all see that? That means I'm not multiplying by 3.14. I'm just going to leave pi alone. So in honesty, I'm kind of going to forget about it for the moment. So now I need to figure out r. My r is my radius. And the radius is always half of the Diameter. So what's half of 62?
31.
31.
So then 31 squared is what? This is obviously a calculator question. Then again, every question is a calculator question.
961.
961?
Yeah.
Am I done? 961 is here. Is that my answer?
No,
No.
Mhm.
Why? What do I
'Cause you
have to do?
you have to multiply 961 with 4.
Yes. So what's 961 times 4?
Uh, 961 times 4 is 3,844.
3,844. And remember, pi is just kind of sitting there. So my final answer is B.
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 Oh.
Not so bad, right? Okay, I'm gonna
But
go over and check.
wait,
See
quick
what-
question. Is there
Yes.
okay, so look, in that equation right there, is there ever a time where it would be an odd number instead of an even number and you won't be able to like split it down? Or split it in half?
You mean the diameter?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. You would just have it either as a fraction or a decimal or whatever it is that they might have shown.
No problem.
Yeah, 2 people sitting in the waiting room. Good thing I went and checked. Did someone just enter the waiting room again? No, okay, I'm going crazy. All right. Next one, we have which point is on a circle with a center of 3, -9 and a diameter of 10. Okay, so now I have my circle, right? Uh-oh. All right, so I have my circle with a center at 3, -9, which is all the way down here. And I have a diameter of 10. If my diameter is 10, that means my radius is
5.
5. So my radius is 5. That means that from the center of my circle to any point on the circle is 5. Okay? So,
Wait, what?
so that means that like if I had my circle here, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna look a little weird because it's not drawn to scale. Remember, from the center to any side is 5.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So now I need to figure out what would be on the center, on the circle, if the radius is 5. So basically, I'm going to kind of look at all the points and I'm going to figure out based on the information that I'm given. So if I were, for example, at the -3, 9, and I was moving, I'm going to change colors. Actually, I'm going to get rid of all of those lines. So if I go from 3, -9 over to this side of my circle, I would be moving what?
5 to the right.
Okay, wait. Yes, so I would be moving my X or my Y.
Oh,
Your X.
My X, right? My Y's are staying at -9. So this point would be the 3 plus 5. What's 3 plus 5?
8.
8. So 8, -9. And now I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to go in the opposite direction. So I'm going to be subtracting. So at -9, right, my Y would again stay the same. So what is 3 minus 5?
Negative
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 2?
-2. So those are my 2 points. I would have -9 as the option. So far, so good?
Yeah.
Now, I only have one option here with a -9. Does 13 match either of those?
No.
No.
No. So it is not D. Okay. Now, the next thing is we're looking at the other ones. So here I have when it's 6, -5. So I'm going to give you some hints. Okay. I'm going to let you in on a secret. When making tests, typically, people who make these tests like to put 2 answers that are very similar. Okay? And the majority of the time, your answer is one of those 2. Okay? That's just like a kind of a rule. Like, Ms. Perdomo knows these things. I took an assessment making course. And that is one of the things they specifically are like, they do this a lot, right? So, looking at these 2 options, which one do I want to kind of like try out first? Like, of all 3 of these, what do I want to try to eliminate?
B.
Well, yes, I would want to eliminate B, but I want to focus on A and C. Because if I have 2 questions that are similar, I want to try, or 2 answers that are similar, I want to try to eliminate one of those 2. Because most likely it's not going to be B. It's going to be one of the 2 that look similar. So now I need to figure it out. Now I have to get a little bit fancy. Okay. And I'm going to use an equation of a circle. So the equation of a circle is not on your reference sheet. Okay. This is pure memorization. The equation of a circle is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So this might look familiar if you were doing your IXLs. It might seem familiar. So h and k represent the center. So in this problem, what is my center? What is my center?
3 -9.
3, -9. So x minus 3 squared plus y minus -9. So a negative and a negative gives me a
Positive.
+9. And then what is my radius? We already said
5.
5. So now what I want to do is I'm going to actually plug in these values and see if it checks out. So what do I want to do first? A or C? Tell me. Make a guess.
C.
Which one?
C.
C? Okay, so we're going to try out C first. So here's my option. So I'm going to go ahead. C is 6. So 6 minus 3 squared plus -5 plus 9 squared equals, what's 5 squared? 5 times
25.
5 is 25. Okay, so 6 minus 3 is
3.
3.
-5 plus 9.
That would equal 4.
That would be 4 equals 25. What's 3 squared?
9.
9.
9 plus 4 squared is?
Would it be
16? 18?
16.
Oh, okay.
So it checks out.
9 plus 16.
25?
Is this true?
Yeah.
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 So which point is on my circle?
3.
What?
What?
C.
C. If 25 equals 25, that means that it's true, meaning that that point is on my circle. So I'm going to do it now with the other one, with A, and we're going to see what happens. So I'm going to do this really quickly. So we have -6 minus 3 squared plus 5 plus 9 squared equals 25. Well, that's going to be -9 squared plus 14 squared equals 25. I can actually stop right here because I know 81 plus something else is never going to equal 25, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that's what happens. It doesn't equal 25. I don't even know what 14 squared is, but it's irrelevant.
Mhm.
It's not going to equal 25. Therefore, it's not in my circle. So the one that would work is C. Okay, we're good with that one?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, is there anyone in the waiting room? Does anyone know? I'll do a check at 6 o'clock. All right. Christy emptied the frozen apple juice from a can. She then cut the frozen juice horizontally as shown in the figure above, or below. What shape did Christy see along the cut? So basically they're saying if you were to separate these two halves of the cylinder, what shape would you have?
Rectangle.
A rectangle. So like, I don't know how to even draw this. I don't know even how to begin. So if you had, right, like there's your cylinder, kind of. You would be, all the visual artists are probably sitting there like, no, Pranav, stop. Stop.
Basically.
But the question is kind of like,
Just,
kind of short.
it would make a rectangle because you don't cut the circle part.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on.
Everyone's like, okay, Pranav, thank you for that one. All right. A large snowman is made of 3 spherical snowballs with radii, that's the plural for radius, by the way, of 1 foot, 2 feet, and 3 feet, respectively. Determine this and state the amount of snow in cubic feet that is used to make the snowman. So in this question, okay, this is once again, I'm going to have to go down to my formula section of my reference sheet. And what am I going to look for? Surface area or volume?
Surface area?
What do we think? I have 1 vote for surface area.
Volume.
Volume.
It would be volume. The key is this magical little word right here. Cubic feet. Cubic feet means that it is cubic. That is always for volume. If you want to remember that area is length times width. You have 2 things. Volume is length times width times depth. 3 things. Okay? So 3 cubic, that's for volume. So now the volume of a sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed. And again, this is all on your reference sheet. 4/3 is a number that is part of it. Okay? It's not going to change. It is always 4/3. Don't ask me why it's there. Maybe because, I don't know, the surface area is 4 and then you have to do 3 things for volume. I don't quite know. I didn't make up the formula. This is what it is. Okay? So now I basically have to do the volume area 3 times. 1 for the 1 foot, 1 for the 2 foot, and 1 for the 3 foot. 3 feet, 2 feet. So I want you guys to do that on your own first, and then we will compare our answers. And then I will finish the problem. Okay?
Ms. Perdomo, I'd like to
Yes.
let you know that Christopher, he got kicked out and now he's in the waiting room.
Unacceptable. It's okay. Christopher is just lucky that Novena was in the waiting room as well. I wouldn't have let him back. I'm just kidding.
Should we?
Ms. Perdomo, can you repeat what we have to do again? I'm sorry.
So you're gonna do the volume for the 1 foot, the 2 feet, and the 3 feet. You're just gonna find the volumes, the separate volumes. So if you want, we
Okay.
can set them up together. So it would be 4/3 pi 1 cubed, 4/3 pi 2 cubed, and 4/3 pi 3 cubed. Okay?
Okay.
So I'll give you a couple minutes. This should be fast. Just remember, you can use your Desmos calculator. I really, really want us, I think tomorrow, I want us to do a lot of problems where we just plug things into the Desmos calculator. So that you guys are like really comfortable with it.
I have a question.
Yes.
So for this type of problem, do we leave pi alone too, or do we multiply it as well? Like with everything.
So in this problem, we're gonna round it. We are gonna multiply with the pi because their ending of the question says round your answer to the nearest cubic foot. So they want a whole number. When it comes to the pi though, it's usually you have to see either what they're saying round. If they say round, they want you to multiply the pi. If it doesn't, then you usually just leave pi in there. And like I said, like in the other problem with the multiple choice, you look through and you see, oh, the answers all have pi in it. I'm not going to multiply pi. But in this case, we are.
Ms. Perdomo, is it okay if pi is in the answer?
No, you got to multiply by pi. You can just do 3.14, or you can use the pi button, whichever one.
I did.
So you shouldn't have pi then. If you multiply by 3.14, then it's just gone.
Oh, okay, let me do that.
Are we ready? Almost.
Almost ready. Wait.
Okay.
Miss Perdomo, Valentina's
Yes.
in the waiting room.
Okay. Let me go. Are you sure?
I mean, that's what she told me right now.
She's not in there now. Maybe she got kicked out. I'll check again in a moment. All right, let's go ahead and check our answers. So we have 1 cubed is what?
1.
Just 1. So then I'm really just doing 4/3 times pi. Where's my pi? And that is about, oh, that's a highlighter. 4.2 or just 4. I'm going to leave it at just 4 for now. Then I'm going to do 2 cubed, which is what?
33.5.
What?
Damn.
33.5.
8?
That's what I got. I don't know.
2 cubed? Or are you
2
just talking about
cubed?
like
I
the
did
final
2
answer?
cubed.
2 cubed is 8.
Oh, no.
Times
Damn.
Oh, I'm
4.
stupid. My bad.
Damn.
Okay, so then it should be 33.5, which will round to about 34. And then the last one, what is 3 cubed?
27.
27 times the 4/3 times pi is about 113.1 or just 113. So now I go ahead and I do 113 plus 34 plus 4, and I get 151.
Wait, Miss, I did this like totally wrong,
Uh-oh.
and I plugged in the entire equation into the calculator. So how would you like 2 steps before we find the answer? How would you find how would you plug this into the calculator?
You're saying like the whole entire thing into the calculator?
Yeah, I put
Okay.
like 4/3 pi, all that, and clearly I was wrong. So
Okay. So, or you wait. Do you mean like the 4/3 pi 1 cubed is what you put into the calculator? Or like, did you do the 4/3 pi 1 cubed plus 4/3 pi 2 cubed?
whoa.
Okay, no, just one at a time. Okay, got it.
Huh?
Okay, I got it.
Wait, never mind. I just realized. Wait, hold on. I think I know what I did wrong.
Why? It's just Desmos. Okay, let me switch from the graphing calculator.
Wait, 3, 4.
Okay, Valentina is saying that she's like in now for sure.
Now, for sure.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah, no, I still don't know how to do this.
Okay. Oh, and Joshua late to the meeting. Unbelievable. Okay, that's not what I wanted to do. I don't want the graphing, I want the scientific. Okay, so from here, I would do 4/3. Nope, that's 4/3. So when it comes to the Desmos, I think that what we should remember is put all the parentheses, just everywhere, just anywhere, put a parentheses. Because honestly, the calculator is so finicky when it comes to like your PEMDAS, your order of operations, that it might give you something a little bit different. But if you're like really stingy with the parentheses, as you can see, there's the 4.1887, which rounds to about 4.
Mm-hmm.
So you see, that's when you're doing the Desmos, this is how you want to do it. Okay.
Okay.
And notice I didn't have to do 1/3 times 4/3 times pi. I just did it all in one go. All right. So the next one says a circle with a circumference of 5 pi. So with that information, I'm going to kind of like highlight it, but I'm not going to pay attention to it right now. Has its center at -3, 1.5. Which of the following best represents this circle? So the first thing I want to do is make sure that my circle has the right center. So are there any I can eliminate right off the bat?
Shoot. Is it Wait, no, I'm actually not sure. Never mind.
Can you take off C? Is that one?
Not C, no.
Can
You
you
can
take
take
off
off
B?
A.
I can get rid of A.
and D.
and
A and
D.
D.
So the reason being, my center has to be at -3, 1.5. So my x has to be -3.
Oh.
If I'm over here, like an A and D, my 3 is positive. That's not where I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Joshua, why are you in this meeting if you are in a movie theater?
Damn.
I mean, sometimes we can't control where we at.
Oh my goodness.
I have my beats on, so I can hear everybody, but I'm just watching the movie. So I'm learning here, though. I'm here for you. Thank you.
Bro.
Bro, you gotta lock in.
Oh my gosh.
Just get out, Joshua.
We're just gonna
Let's
move
get
on.
the boy.
We are just gonna move on now. All right. So I'm now looking for between B and D. I mean B and C. Okay, now I'm gonna look back at my circumference. So once again, my handy dandy reference sheet. In the formula section, I'm looking, my circumference is found in my circle. What's the difference between a circle and a sphere?
One's 3D.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
one
spheres,
second.
the sphere is 3D, so the circle is normal. So circles, the circumference of a circle is equal to 2 pi r. So far, so good.
Mm-hmm.
They told me my circumference is 5 pi. So 5 pi equals 2 pi r. So I'm going to solve for r. I need my radius. So what do I do first? How do I get r by itself?
What do you subtract 2 so that it cancels out with the 5 and it gets 3 pi?
Not subtract,
Divide.
divide.
Yeah.
Remember, this is all being multiplied. So opposite of multiplication is division. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just divide everything already by 2 pi, right? Pi is going to just cancel out. Gone. Now, what is 5 divided by 2?
Would that be 2.5?
2.5.
Yeah.
So is my circle going to be larger or smaller? Or are there on the big side or the
Smaller?
Small.
It's going to probably be on the small side, right? So which one would that be between B and C?
C.
C. C is my answer. Also, if I really wanted to, my center was at -3 and 1.5. And I'm looking for a radius of 2.5, which means it should take me about 2.5 to get to the side. So that's 1, 2, and there's my half.
Can't you just like look at it closely and see like the very edge is at like 1.5? Because
What do you mean?
no, just like the very edge of the circle
Oh, yeah, but
is
that's
is there, but
right.
guess
That's
you
what
can't
I'm saying,
assume.
though. Like, because B would be too big. Like, it would take you more than 2.5 to get to the side on B, which the center would be like here. Like, that's like 1, 2, 3.
Oh, I understand it now.
So, we're good with this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All righty. Okay. I want us all to take a breath. Before we look at the next one, I promise you
Boy.
it's not that bad.
Oh my god.
Lies.
You're lying to me right now.
Oh my
You're
god.
joking.
God.
Okay,
I
hear me
want
out.
to
Hear me out.
cry.
Hear me out. This is a very simple little process. Okay? Very simple. We have the grain bin below is made up of a cylinder with a cone on top. Okay? The total height of the bin is 35 feet. The height of the cylinder portion is 20 feet. And the diameter of the base is 30 feet. Okay? So far, so good? So if the cylinder's height is 20 feet, that means that the height of my cone is what?
It should
5.
be
15.
about 10?
15.
Oh, 15. Okay.
Remember, the whole thing is 35. So if 20 is just that little segment,
Oh, okay. I get it.
then the
Oh, I
rest
was looking
has
at the
to
wrong
be.
number. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So then, what would be my radius? If my diameter is 30, my radius would be
15.
15. Okay, so I'm just making some mental notes right now. Okay. Part A, which expressions represents the total volume in cubic feet of the grain bin? So when you have shapes like this, you know, they're composite shapes is what they're called. They have more than one shape involved. All you have to do is find the volume of the one, find the volume of the other one, and add them up. That's why you see all of these with this plus sign here in the middle. Okay, so now all I have to do is go to my handy dandy reference sheet, find the cylinder, and I see that the volume of a cylinder is big B times H. Now, big B is the area of the base. What shape is the area of my circle? I mean, my cylinder? I ruined it.
What?
What is the shape of the base of my cylinder?
Oh, a circle.
A circle. I said it.
Circle.
So I would need to find the area of the circle. Well, once again, in my handy dandy reference sheet, this question all comes from your reference sheet. Once you figured out the 15 for the diameter and the 15 for the height of the cone, the rest of it is literally just look at your reference sheet and plug in values. And that's it. Okay. So the area of a circle is pi r squared. Okay, so that means that it would be 15. Oops, that's not 15. 15 squared times pi, or pi times 15 squared. So which options don't have that?
B and D.
B and D. So eliminate B and D. B and D are none of my options. Okay. Then what is my height of my cylinder?
20 feet.
Wow, okay. So I just
So it would be
literally
A.
eliminated everything and found the answer right away.
Oh.
Easy, right? See, I told you this problem was not that bad, right?
Watch us all
Nice.
forget it.
Wait,
my
Miss
God.
Perdomo,
Yes.
what do you have to
Yeah,
find?
bro.
What do you have to find before you plug in everything we have to find again?
You just need to make sure that you identify the diameter,
Mm-hmm.
which you can get from the 30, and the height
Yes.
of the cone, which
Mm-hmm.
we really didn't have to because they went ahead and they did times 20 times 30. So we were able to eliminate that very quickly.
Oh, okay.
Right.
you.
But if we didn't and they had put 20 for both of them, then I would have had to keep going and made sure that my second part had 15 as the height.
I see.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Mhm. So then now part B is literally put part A in your calculator. That's all you have to do. So I'm going to go over to the Desmos now that I have it open, and I'm going to type it in exactly as they have it. I'm going to do pi times 15 squared times 20 plus pi times parentheses 15 squared times 5. And my final answer, now they say to the nearest cubic foot, so a whole number, and that would be 17,671. And that is the correct answer.
Are we gonna have access to the Desmos calculator on the EOC or no?
Yes, you will. That's why I'm using it so much now, and why tomorrow when we do more practice in class, I want us to do specifically problems where we're gonna have to do that. Like I want us to do distance formula, all that stuff on the calculator, so you get into the habit and you know exactly how to type it in to get your answers right away. Okay.
Period.
Okay.
Cool question, Miss Pearl.
Yes.
What time is the study session tomorrow again?
Tomorrow is 6:45, and that one is the 2-hour session. Look at that,
Alright.
people in the waiting room. 2 iPads sitting in the waiting room.
Miss Perdomo, how long
that's
does this
my
one? How long does this one last?
No, this one's only until 6:30. I
Okay.
don't know.
Oh,
It's Sunday. Mr. Nolan wants to relax and
Oh, yeah,
go
of
to
course.
sleep early.
Real.
Real.
Okay.
Joshua has to finish his movie. He's not gonna be here for 2 hours.
Who let out that big cackle? Was it Joshua?
Explain. You know, the movie's over, Miss Perdomo. Perdomo, I'm just listening out here, watching videos on Sinners. But yeah, I'm here. Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Brawlhalla.
All
Easy, no
right.
law.
All right. A number line shows 2 points. Point M at -6. So I'm gonna draw my little number line. Wait for my visual artist. Here we go. Here we go. Just draw my number line. Wow. Just flawless.
Ooh.
Just flawless. We'll put 0 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6. So there we go. Here is M. Here is N. If a weighted average is taken where M contributes 40%, what is 40% as a decimal?
Isn't that 0.4?
0.4. And point N contributes 60%, which would be
0.6.
0.6. What is the weighted average of the 2 points? Weighted average is not on your reference sheet. Okay, so we kind of have to remember it a little bit. So what we are going to do is we multiply -6 times 0.4 and then add it to 6 times 0.6, divide it by 0.4 plus 0.6. Yes? Are we doing that?
Yeah. Yes.
The movie Life with
Is anybody else struggling?
Why are we struggling?
I don't know what's going on.
What is -6 times 0.4?
-2.4.
-2.4. And then 6 times 0.6?
3.6.
3.6. And then what's 0.4 plus 0.6?
Is it one whole?
One.
Rio.
1.0.
I thought so. 1.0.
It is 1.0, right?
Mm.
So now I don't really divide anything because anything divided by 1 is itself. So -2.4 plus 3.6 gives me what?
I got 7.
Oh.
What? 7?
Yeah, same thing that happened earlier.
Nice,
1.4.
nice.
-6.
1.2.
Yeah.
1.2 is the correct
B?
answer.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Wait, what?
You said, yo.
It's not 7. It's not
7.
7.
Wait, I got
There's
6. I
seven.
got -6.
Oh, Ms. Perdomo, remind me, what is the decimal for 40% again?
0.4.
Okay, I see right now.
This guy.
Okay,
Wait, how
so
is it? How is it 1.2?
all right, so I'm gonna go again. So we had 40% and 60%, right? But I
Right.
don't multiply by percentages like that, right? I have to
Uh-huh.
change them into decimals.
Okay.
So then for the weighted average, it's always the weight times the number plus the other weight, we'll call it weight 2 times number 2,
Uh-huh.
divided by the sum of the weights. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
We'll do more of these tomorrow because this one isn't on your reference sheet. That being said, they usually only ever put like a couple of questions on weighted average. So in my first case, I had -6 and +6. Those count as my numbers, right? Those are my data numbers, whatever you want to call them. So I have -6 and I have 6, right? Then I take my weight. So it says -6 contributes 40%. So that's 0.4 plus N that contributes 60% or 0.6. And then I add up 0.4 plus 0.6. So now in my calculator, I multiplied this over here, which gives me that -2.4. And this one multiplied gives me 3.6. And then 0.4 plus 0.6 is equal to 1.0. Yes?
Oh, yes, okay.
So then anything divided by 1 is itself. So I'm just kind of going to ignore that a little bit. And I'm just going to focus on -2.4 plus 3.6. I put that in my calculator and I get 1.2.
Okay, thank you.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. So now, again, we'll do some of those tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to have to erase this part. All right. This will be, I think, our last question because we're already close to 6:30, and I think a select all that apply is a good way to end. So quadrilateral math has coordinates 1, 1, -2, 5, 3, 5, and 6, 1. Select all the true statements about quadrilateral math. So my best advice would be to graph this one, just because I think with this case, it's easier to look at and see what is connecting to what. Because sometimes when we hear all those points, we don't make the connections. So 1, 1, right here. There's my M. Then I have -2, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I have T, which is 3, 5. And then I have H at 6, 1. Oh, wow. There you go. Such an artist. All right. So now I'm going to look at the information I have here. So they're saying MT. So I'm going to do a highlighter actually. MT is congruent to AH. So that's their first claim. So how would I figure out if that's true or not? The magical formula that we all know and love.
Reference.
Wait, is it a distance formula?
Yes, it's the distance formula.
That meeting made the twins have to call
Hey.
The distance formula that is on your reference sheet.
Yippee.
So that would be D equals the square root of And remember, I'm going to use points. Oh, well, I'm going to use all of them actually, but it's A and H, and then M and T that I'm finding the distance to. So that's going to be what? It's going to be -2 minus 6 plus 5 minus 1. So this one is AH. And then we're going to have here MT. So MT is going to be 1 minus 3 squared plus 1 minus 5 squared. So when I put these in my calculator, I get what? Anyone?
Hold on, plugging in.
Yeah, 1 second.
Okay.
Is the first one for wait, I forgot what that's called. The little
Squared?
yeah, 4 squared, like 4, 5 squared. Is that how you say it?
Square root.
Oh yeah, 4 squared root 5. Is that how you say it?
It would be 4 square root of 5.
Okay.
Now that's what we got.
Yeah, that's what I got.
4 square root of 5. And then to save time, our other one is 2 square root of 5. Are they the same thing?
Nope.
This is not true. Okay, now the next one says MA is perpendicular to AT. What do perpendicular lines do?
They intersect.
Intersect and make 2 right angles.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Does that look like a right angle?
No.
No, I'm
Hell
not gonna
no.
waste my time. Moving on. Right? It doesn't look like a right angle. I'm skipping it for now. Okay. Now the next one, MT and AH. So now I need to check if these are perpendicular because it's talking about diagonals and I don't see that very easily. So I need to do what to find if they are perpendicular? What's the magical thing that will help me figure it out?
Is it the distance formula again?
Not the distance formula. Begins with an S.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's on your it's on your reference sheet.
This was
Wait,
the
does it rhyme
visual
with
highlight
Pope?
of the film.
Like Pope?
It does rhyme with Pope.
American
Slope
Chicago
formula.
Guru.
It's
When
the
the risen
slope.
sin and he was
So the slope, remember that perpendicular lines have super opposite slopes. So I need to find the slope of MT, which is going to be 1. What? Someone tell me the slope formula.
in
Like what,
Choctaw
rise over
culture,
run?
fireflies represent
Yeah,
the
rise over run.
embers of the
1 minus 6. Wait, that's not it. Look at me, all over the place. That is 1. Okay. 1 minus 5 over 1 minus 3. So what's 1 minus 5?
-4.
-4. And what's 1 minus 3?
-2.
-2.
-2. I'm going to leave this as is. Okay, I'm just gonna not touch it for right now. Then the next one was AH. So AH is gonna be 5 minus 1, and then -2 minus 6. And then what's 5 minus 1?
4.
And what's -2 minus 6?
-8.
-8. Wait.
Four. Oh, minus.
Wait. Something's not adding up here. Oh, no, it is. I'm fine. Ignore me. I'm fine. I'm crazy. All right. So these don't look exactly the same. So I'm going to simplify now. What is -4 over -2?
Are you trying to simplify it?
rendition of
It's gonna be like
Simplify.
2, like 2 whole.
Like 2, yeah.
Positive 2.
Yeah, positive.
Yeah.
So then now 4 over -8 would simplify to
About the film that stood
Negative
out to me heavily
2?
before the release
Wait.
of the film.
Well,
And that's
yeah.
how they
-2
promote
or
each
no?
-2, and then I have
Nice.
+2, and then AH is -1/2. Are these super opposite slopes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So C is true. Okay. Now, we need to figure out if the distance for these are all the same, right? Because quadrilaterals, maybe they're all the same. If that's the case, and they are all the same, is it a rhombus or a rectangle? If all the sides are the same.
A rectangle.
What?
No.
Rhombus.
Oh, it's a rhombus.
Now,
Wow,
this-
what are we looking at?
You fool. You fool.
So now we're going to calculate the distance from all of these points. So the easiest ones are from M to H and A to T. So from M to H, right, my Y's both stay at 1. So all I have to do is count from 1 to 6. How much is 1 to 6?
100 years. British
5.
Empire
Like 5
suppressed Irish
points. Yeah.
Catholics.
And then from -2 to 3,
Locked
Like
Catholicism
5.
into the Irish.
also 5. So far, I'm off to a good start. Now I have to do the distance formula for A to M and from T
Captured
to H.
colonies,
Can we just like
especially
go off it?
Barbados.
Like,
So we can do this on the graphing calculator tomorrow. I will spare us the time, but both of them are going to be 5 as well.
hey,
So therefore, this one is true. They are all congruent. So if all the sides are congruent, then it's a what?
equilateral.
What?
A quadrilateral, yeah.
What? No,
Quadrilateral.
it already said it was a quadrilateral.
Stating that
If
he
all the
polygon.
sides are congruent,
A rhombus.
it's a rhombus. Now,
Rhombus.
remember that a
Now,
rhombus
this
can
Oh,
also
be
be
for-
a square. So is this a square as well?
around the
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes.
Why?
like
Because all the sides are equal.
That's
all
not
congruent.
what a square means.
Oh, they're all congruent.
A square means that all of these are 90-degree angles.
Oh,
Oh.
We have already
Now,
said that they are not 90-degree angles.
Live
Oh.
around that.
So it's not as
It is a rhombus, but not a square.
That makes
a
Okay, and we will be studying more tomorrow. We can continue this packet if you want to tomorrow. And then tomorrow's the big 2-hour tutoring, and then your test will be on Tuesday. So
Thank you, Miss Perdomo.
I will see you guys tomorrow.
Oh,
Have a
when do we
great
Bye.
rest
Thank you,
of
Miss
the
Perdomo.
day.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
when do we find out where we proctoring? Or who's gonna be proctoring us? Like what room we're gonna be in?
I have a list. I don't know who's where. I'm not proctoring actually. For like
Really?
the first time. Yes. The first time I am not proctoring Algebra 1 or the geometry.
Okay.
Your proctors, everything is in building 5. So you don't have to go anywhere else.
Okay. All right. That sounds good.
So you just get to building 5. You're either on the 4th floor or the 2nd floor. Those
All
are
right, no
only
worries.
two. Okay.
Okay. I'll see you tomorrow, Miss Perdomo.
All right, guys. I will see you tomorrow. Have
See
a
you
great
tomorrow,
rest
Miss
of your
Perdomo.
Sunday.
Bye, Miss.
Bye, Miss Perdomo. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.